Hello, Core 3 Beauties. This is Marcos, and this is our week 15 to 16 recap briefing video. We're down to our final week of school, and we've got lots to do as we prepare for our final presentations. And I want to make sure that everyone is as ready as possible so you can shine on that day and bring out your best. So let's go through everything that's going on so that you're ready. Oh, how'd that get in there? We had a great class on Thursday. Uh, did a little stress relief. We made our crowns. We did some work. We checked in with each other. And now we're down to the home stretch as we go towards week 16. And let's look at this. We've done a lot. We've done a lot since October 12th, and now we're heading for December 12th. So 2 months worth of work. And you guys have really been dedicated and passionate about your work and putting in so much love into it. And I'm excited to see the final results as you put together these presentations. So we've we're down to like stressful long weekend here in a couple of days before the final, but there's lots you can do, and I want to make sure you're set up as best you can. Our critique is going to be a Zoom session where you'll meet from your own space, and we're doing that so that we can have plenty of time for everyone to present as we make breakout rooms. And I've rounded up 8 different reviewers to critique, and these are people that I've known in my professional life or personal life, for that matter. They're people who've worked for me. There's people who've been former students in the class. Some are close to your age, some are older, some are much older, like me. And there's just a good range of people. I'll be pairing them up. So there's 2 people per room. So it should be 2 reviewers and like 4 people per room, something like that, maybe 5. And it will be a great experience for you, because what I want to do here is sort of create a scenario where it's similar to like a professional meeting, and that you're sitting down with somebody who you don't know, who doesn't know much about what you've been doing, and you tell the story of your work. You go through your process, you showcase the insights you gained from the research you did, the inspiration that led to your design ideas and techniques and applications. And then you talk through and show the work you've done, connecting it to the idea of our overall goal, which is to pick a cause in the world that needs some attention, that could gain from a design solution, and show how you would handle and address the cause of your choice into a brand that offers a solution in some way. So remember that when you're presenting, that you want to keep that connection in the story you tell. And just overall, that in the process of creating your presentation, go back to the beauty arch to remember that there were steps in this process, and these are the steps that should be part of your final presentation. It should start from the very beginning of the pathway on the left side with social causes, individual needs. Talk a little bit about that in the beginning, and talk about how you and before you talk about it, like give it a little insight about what the cause is about. Not too long, but just sort of wrap up or lay out is a better word for what the social issue is that you're looking to make a dent in or shine a light on. And then talk about how you created a concept for a brand, the strategy behind it, the name behind it, showcase. And when it comes to the name of the brand, don't just take that for granted. It's not like somebody's coming to you with a concept and a brand and a name, and you're supposed to design the logo. You're coming up with the problem. You're coming up with the strategy for the brand. You're coming up with the name for the brand. That's huge. That's a big thing. Make sure you make it clear that this is your brand, this is your name of your brand, and here's the identity for it, the brand standards, the minor touch points. Make sure you show those just to give a good context. And then once you've laid all that out, it's time for the main show, which is to talk about your two projects that are tackling a major asset in an analog way and in a digital way, and showcase those thoroughly, but also remember that it's not about every single detail. It's about talking about the design aspect of what you're doing, the functionality a little bit, but just overall, like what this thing looks like, how it's going to work, who it's for. Always remember, telling your story, like connected to the audience, connected to the results you're trying to get. And at the end with creating an overview of the full project on a single page that's a grid of images that kind of just gives the greatest hits, we'll call it. And then follow that with a thank you page. And the idea will be, once you get to the end, that you get your thank you page, we're all clapping and cheering, and then you go back one page and you rest it on the grid, so that when each of the reviewers starts talking, they can see the breadth of your project in one page. And they may ask you to go back and reference something, or they may start talking about something specific. And when you hear that, just kind of click back to what that was. But it gives you a place, that last grid, overview grid, will give a place to remind everyone what you presented, and to see, and also to see your project in one image, which I think is actually really important. So do that. And remember, you're almost there. Design student Sally, just like you, has come this long distance, and she's avoided a lot of temptation there, and pitfalls and dangers. She survived the parties, and now she's heading for the end, which is our big goal, is to, in the work we do, is to try to provide human flourishing, try to provide a positive outcome for people, and know that we're doing it based on our path towards beauty, and creativity puts us on that path to the good, the true, and the beautiful. So let's remember that. That's the main thing I want you to get out of this class, is that bigger picture thinking, that you're a collaborator in reality, and you're a collaborator in creation. We're part of creation, and we're creating together with the great creator. So do keep that in mind, and that positive mental attitude is what I want you guys to make sure you're building towards, for a great career and a happy life. All right, we're not wrapping up yet. Hold on. Let's get to the final deliverables. Okay, so the deliverables I want you guys to work on are going to be, first, to make sure, for the work you've done for last week, or for this week, whenever you're watching this, for week 15, is to make sure you put your progress on the Google Drive, and make sure all the weeks of the Google Drive have your folder in there with your progress, and that the A-making machine, when it's sputtering and making your A's, won't have a kink in it, and we'll continue to see that you've been posting as requested every week, and the story of your project, step by step, you can see in each of those folders. Do that after the finals, though. Don't worry about that for now. That's after Tuesday. And then the main thing you should be doing now is creating your final presentation deck. And we've done this before with our last two projects, and I haven't said it enough, but this is like the big thing I want you guys to learn, is like the art of presenting and creating a presentation that will be your wingman while you're talking about your work, that will give a clear and inspiring showcase of your work, that will allow you to be able to tell this story and go through a process step by step, and also will make it easier for you to talk and give you cues on what you should be talking about. I want, for sure, some of you do this, like, do not sit there and read your presentation notes. Maybe if you're back talking about the stats about your cause, okay, that's okay. But for sure, when you're talking about your creative process, you're talking about your ideas, that's coming from your heart. Which side is it on here? And it's coming from your head. So you can talk about that without having to read what it says. So say it assertively, say it, make sure you're like nice and loud, not loud, but nice, and we can hear you, and show as much confidence as you can, and I know you're in a friendly environment. Like, the whole process of making this presentation is going to be to give you a chance to practice in doing this kind of thing. And the reviewers all know that. They're all really nice people, and nothing bad can happen. But the key to that though is let's make this recording. I want everyone to make a recording of your video. I mean, recording a video of your final presentation, just like I'm doing right now. Fire up your Zoom, get your little camera in the corner, and give your presentation to yourself like I'm doing now. It's ridiculous. I'm talking to a screen, but that's what I need you to do. And it'll give you a couple of things. One, it's if you're able to do it before the final reviews, you don't have to, but I recommend it, then great. You'll have a chance to actually go through your deck and practice or prepare, maybe is a better word, because practice always kind of sounds scary, but you'll just be able to, you can do it. And then you can actually go back and watch it. And I bet when you do that, you're going to actually like it. I know you might think, I hate my voice, or I don't like how I look. Me too, but I realized by making these things that that when I watch them, it's like, oh wait, all those voices in my head, you can't hear them. All those ones saying, oh, that sounded stupid, or you don't know what you're talking about. Like that stuff doesn't come out on the video. So it actually makes for more of a clear version of how you present, and it can help you see what's working and not working. So you don't have to do that, but it might be a good way to use the recording. But if the main thing is you're prepared with your final presentation deck and your designs, if you want to wait till after the review on Tuesday and submit it by Thursday or even Friday, or if you email me, we can, it can be later than that, but I want to do grades over the weekend, next weekend, then just let me know and do that. But the other reason I want you to do this, I want you to have a record. I want you to have a record of who you were, who you are today in this time period in your life, where you're at Parsons, a junior, learning design, finding your voice, putting your talents to work in this incredible professional way that goes beyond anything I think any of us thought we could do when we started doing this art thing. And I want you to see it. I want you to see it, over holiday break. I want you to see it maybe after you graduate. I want you to see it 10 years from now. I want you to see it 20 years from now. I want you to see it this long time from now and look back at who you were, and then look forward at who you are now at the time you're watching that video, and understand the kind of growth you've made. It's going to be important to do. So do that. All right. So finals are on Tuesday, and this is what I want you guys to have on the deck. It's the same stuff as we've had before, so it should be familiar. We have an overview of the project, like talk about what your overall project is, like the assignment you were given, not your cause, just the assignment. If you're first in your group, then you'll have more of a burden to kind of just, not a burden, but a responsibility to talk about what the project is, because you're the first one. If you're not the first one, then you don't have to worry about that, but you have to have it in your deck. And remember the rule with the first one: if you think yours is the suckiest, you better go first, because if you let the guy or the girl who's the best, who has the mind-blowing, way beyond expectations on drugs presentation, then do not let them go before you, because then you'll have to follow that up. And so you got the suckiest one, go first, but it doesn't mean yours is sucky. It's just a joke, because all of yours are great. All right, so overview of the project, an overview of your cause. Introduce your cause, tell them why you picked it. This is a personal thing, or this is something you learned about by researching. And then provide the research, the case study, the competitors, and begin to talk about your brand. Outline your target audience, present your strategy, your concept for your brand, your inspiration, your brand personality, mood boards, that stuff you developed. Go through them, edit them, change them. If your result ended up being a little bit different than what you expect it to be, go ahead and alter history. Like, no one has to know, like, change it to make it look right, so that you're presenting something that's going to make sense in the end. Don't just do it and then hope the dots connect. Make sure you connect those dots. And then present your brand name. So again, I said this already, but this is a presentation. I don't care if you even put the name up there in Helvetica and saying, okay, I name my brand this, squiggly, or whatever it's called, whatever your brand is called. Make that a part of it. Like, this is the name of the brand. And then I went through the design process to create an identity, and then you show the logo and the brand standards, and then you show the touch point examples you made. You might want to go back now and say, man, he was right. I do need a tote bag. So put that tote bag in there, or whatever it is that makes it look like this is a real company that not only makes the analog and digital project that you make, but has interactions with customers, has a space, has things that employees wear, like think about how you can make that your brand look as real as possible. Because you want to set it up so that you have this real looking brand, and now here are the show pieces for that brand, the main armor that they're going to use, the main weaponry they're going to use to fight your cause. So showcase your analog and digital assets fully and in depth as possible. Everyone should have some kind of animated version of your digital project. That's probably on Figma. It doesn't have to be, but some way where you're going through and showing how it works and just ooh and ah them. This is like really cool stuff. Make sure if you don't have like a grand entrance for your site, a splash page or whatever, make sure you got it so like the minute you turn on that Figma thing, it's like, whoa, it's moving and it's really cool. Same with the analog piece. Create a presentation that showcases it well. Don't be obsessed with showing, oh, see, I got all 48 pages or whatever you think you'd have to have. Just make sure you show that it's important to the project and that it's in depth and that it's serving the purpose that it should as an analog piece or a digital piece. Like if this is the purpose of it, and maybe it's not that big of a purpose if it's particularly analog pieces. Maybe they're not that grand as we hoped it would be, but just justify that. Say that the digital thing is the main thing and this is the support. And then once you've done all that, and make sure you put those in the right order, which comes first, digital or analog, think that through. Maybe you want to start with the big wow factor, probably the digital piece, and maybe end with the support of the print, or maybe the other way around. It depends on your story. And then again, end with that overview grid, or not end, but almost end with that overview grid that shows just the depth of your project, the logo, the different touch points and the main pieces. Just somehow make that arrangement look good. And then the thank you page, you know this already, like make sure you have that thank you page in the end and with gratitude. And then once you get to the thank you page, leave your screen up, don't close it, and go back to the overview grid, and then we'll get feedback. All right. And then also what I want to do, and this is a legit class, so there has to be some kind of final examination. So the final examination is going to be during your meeting. You'll be observing your fellow students in your group, in your breakout group. And I made a Google form that I'll share with everybody. And that basically has a chance for you to write each person's name and write their cause and then give feedback. It doesn't have to be that long, and it's not about criticizing them. It's like it could be like, a lot of cheering, but just give feedback on what you thought of the presentation, what you learned, what inspired you, what you thought was cool. Again, it could be personal, it doesn't have to be long, but just I want you to do that for each person in your group and submit that. And a reminder for, I dug up this rubric for the final project. It's a 40-point project. We're going for visual quality. We're going for critical and conceptual thinking, response, process, professionalism. All these things are what the A-making machine is going to be spying out to see if you have them before it builds the golden A. So make sure you're just keeping this in mind. I put all this onto our last Canvas Part 9 final review assignment page. It's got links for you to connect to the project 3, the Part 9 finals folder, and the finals folder inside of it, so you can see below here, it has 2 folders. One has a final presentation folder, that's for your deck, and the other has a presentation video folder, and that's for your video. Okay. And then, let's not forget, I got Crowned Beauties Party pics up on the Google Drive as well, but do not go there and get distracted. Stick to your work and just check those out at some point. Or if you need some stress relief or some amusement, go check them out. All right, so we're almost there. Remember, you're beautiful and you can do this, and we're going to finish in style and we're going to have great results. I make myself available still. I'm up at my house in the Poconos working all weekend on other stuff, so I'm going to be checking my email. No fun for me either. Okay, I'm also overwhelmed with work and stressed out, just like you. So I'm here. I'm here for you. Same on Monday and Tuesday. Like, give me time though. Don't panic and contact me on Tuesday afternoon when there's no time. So let's focus on getting the project done. Let's focus on being rested and confident and clear when we have our meeting. And remember again that we're all under the umbrella of beauty. She's protecting us, and we're after seeking to reveal the beauty in our world by the work we do and the way we act and treat people. Okay. Go guys, go. You're almost there. We will see you on Tuesday night on Zoom. I'll send out the link with the Zoom meeting breakdown, breakout rooms, or we'll do it on the meeting, and we're going to have a great meeting. Thanks so much, everybody, and take care.